film too. So, you always kind of take the first game and make sure you digest what happened in it, but not overdo it. Because this game's going to be different than the first one, and they always are. They're not the same, and it certainly isn't a carbon copy. So, they change things, we change things. There's an evolution that happens during the course of the season, and I'd say for us, this is like two games, in 4 weeks, So there's enough time in between that there's quite a few things that have been different for both teams. But we've acknowledged the first game. You studied it. We learned some things. We obviously took a lot of notes after we played him, and so he's got a pretty good picture of what that first game was like, and some of what we can expect this week.
Josh, is it safe to say that you either held back stuff from the playbook or just haven't utilized it as yet, and we'll see more of that in the final few weeks, including this game?
I don't. I guess my answer would probably be we've kind of used what we feel like we have to use to win each week. I think. I don't think you will ever get to everything. So there's certainly more things we can do. I think what matters is that hopefully we pick the right ones. That's probably gonna be the most important thing. But there's always new things. There's always things you grow to, I think, as you build through the season and you evolve offensively. But I'd say there's quite a few things that we've done over and over again that are probably the core of what we do, just like everybody. And then there's a lot of sprinkles that you can put on top of the ice cream every once in a while, and if you feel like it fits. So there's going to be, hopefully we pick the right things to unveil. That's right.
Drake said yesterday that he can't thank you enough for how much you've helped him this year.
I'm sorry.
Drake.
Okay.
And how much have you enjoyed this? Getting to know him, working with him, and coaching him this year.
Well, that's kind of him, obviously, and it's been incredible for me personally. I coaching is all about the players and trying to teach and watching them grow and have success. And I think that's our greatest joy as coaches come from when we see the players, do something well and get rewarded for it. So, that's across the board. That's not just the quarterback position, but, working with a guy that puts everything he has into it, tries to get better at every aspect of playing the position, which is really difficult. Puts in time before he comes in. He's ready to go every week, practices with a purpose. And to top it all off, he's a better person than he is a player. And that's, hard to be at that age, in terms of the things he's already accomplished. So, it's a lot to be thankful for, and certainly enjoying every opportunity I have to work with him.
Josh, is it a rare trait for a quarterback this young in his development to be able to, this was the problem last week, this was an issue for us, and the next week it's not an issue anymore?
I mean, it's obviously challenging to be able to get it quickly, and we're going to see we saw some things last week that we didn't do, as well as we wish we would have. And we're trying to figure out how we can, close the circle on that too. So, I don't know, it's a never ending process, and improving is something that we work hard on each week to try to put our best, product out there at the end of the year. I think he's committed to that. I think he's dedicated to it in every way. And again, this position is so, it's just different, it's unique, because it's not just physical. There's a mental side of it. There's a preparation side of it. There's the chess match that happens during the course of the game. There's understanding what one thing might be used to set up something else and how that might affect us. So, he's trying to work hard at everything. And I know there was some things that happened, a couple weeks ago that he, made some progress on, and that list is still long and we're still working at it, but really proud of the effort that he's put in to try to fix some of the things that people try to hurt you with, and that will continue. There's no question that will continue.
Josh, with Harris talking about, I think he's been a little banged up, but a few times this season you've thrown him in at fullback. What's it been like having a guy like that come in those moments, especially because he is a defensive player, on just what led to that decision?
Well, Vrabes certainly had plenty to do with those things, because you're taking a defensive guy away from the defensive meetings and the defensive practice field and all that. So, you got to get his blessing for sure. And so obviously Mike having done it, it's kind of a cool twist on that. But he's whenever you get a defensive player to come over on the offensive side of the ball, the reaction is usually one of two things. It's, spite, or it's super, super excited because there's a new guy coming into your room. And so the guys love Tonga. He's tremendous, got a great attitude. He brings an energy about himself every day. And so when we get an opportunity to do anything with a defensive player, and specifically him, I think the guys have really enjoyed doing that and embrace it.
Bills defense is at its best. Where are they giving you the most challenge?
This is really, I think I said it the first time we played him, but really as well coordinated of a group as we'll play all year. They do so many things to challenge you before the snap, and then there's a whole litany of things that happen once the ball is in the quarterback's hands. So really well coordinated at all three levels. Disguise, show you one thing, do something else. There's a variety and a volume to what they play on defense. And some teams that play a lot of different things and do a lot of different schematic, elements to their defense don't do a lot of them well. This is not the case. The Bills play a lot and do a lot well. And so, they can play man coverage, they can play zone, they can pressure, they can play different kinds of zone. They provide you with different challenges on third down, as many as we've seen all year probably. I got great respect for Coach McDermott and his staff. They've done a tremendous job for a long time. And certainly they play their best, in the biggest moments. And so we're expecting, everybody that has any opportunity to play. And they got good players at all three levels. And this is going to be a big challenge.
What does the checklist look? What does the checklist look like when it comes to identifying and handling blitzes on a snap-to-snap basis?
I think the first thing is communication. You got to know how you're working together. And so we'll try to do the best we can at being on the same page. The defense always gets a vote. So they want to send 8 at us, then that might be more than we're blocking with. So sometimes that happens, and sometimes you have to adjust in a different manner. But it's about communication and following your rules. And that's the mental part of it. And the discipline part of it. And then the last part of it, obviously, is the physical part of it, and being able to block the guy that's actually blitzing, which is challenging in and of itself, depending on who the guy is, how big he is, what his moves are. Different linebackers and secondary players, blitz differently, use different skills to try to get to the quarterback. So, defensive coaches are always trying to devise ways to beat protections, and it's our job to try to make sure that we start to play on the same page, and that we do the best job we can of following our rules and being connected, and then obviously being physical and tough with the guys that blitz.
You feel like Federico was able to step in last week?
Did a nice job. Velo's been here obviously longer than I have this time, and so he knows what to do. The guys receive him well. He's worked hard to have an opportunity and has been ready. And then his number gets called on, and he's responded the right way. So good communicator, and guys have been connected, and did a good job. Pass protecting and some good things in a running game. So have a lot of confidence in him. We've said that all along, that the guys that are here, we have a lot of confidence in that group, and expect them to play well on Sunday.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks.